Hey everybody, so today in this video I'm going to show you how to install RuggedWrap fork protection film on this bike. RuggedWrap fork protection film is available for a lot of bikes. We've got some specific kits available, and you can also buy a universal kit that you can just trim as needed. So on this bike, this is a GS 1250, BMW GS 1250, and the kit is specifically cut for this bike, so you don't have to do any trimming. But on really any bike, a little bit of trimming of the universal kit is not much of a big deal. So first of all, clean your bike, and then grab a shop towel with a little bit of alcohol on it or some parts cleaner, and clean your forks so that there's no road film or any waxes or sprays that you might use to normally keep your bike shiny and also easier to clean. You want to get all that residue off the forks, and you'll get better adhesion. The best applicating temperatures are between 70 and say 90 degrees Fahrenheit, or 20 and 35 Celsius. If it gets too cold, you'll want to warm up your garage and try and apply between those temperatures. If it's really hot, you might want to wait until the evening. The adhesive on the RuggedWrap will feel more aggressive if it's a very hot day, just simply because the adhesive is that much softer. Here I've got my kit. This is the kit for the BMW GS 1200 and 1250. So this is all pre-cut for this bike and fits very nicely without any trimming. And again, doesn't really matter. If you bought the universal kit, that would be perfectly fine, and you could simply trim it to your needs. You'll see here that the GS kit is cut to fit in these two sections of the front forks, and kind of nice that way. It's just that much quicker, handier. The RuggedWrap has a unidirectional or omnidirectional, pardon me, air release. So it will release air bubbles simply by massaging the vinyl wrap, and it's incredibly tough, so it'll resist scratching and chipping if stones hit your forks. You'll notice these forks are just like new, but this RuggedWrap's been on here for a while now in off-road conditions and on freeway driving, where you always get a lot of rocks. So you'll notice I can just kind of tack it there. It's not going anywhere, but it's also not stuck forever. I can move it around. There's lots of repositionability and easy install. So this piece is a little bit shorter than the piece for the top. So I'm going to go ahead and install this on the bottom simply by I don't have to take any parts off. I can just slide it in place, and it will conform to the fork. It's not super sticky, so I can get my placement just right, take my time, and then start to press down. Now we have a squeegee. Now this squeegee is sized just right for this job, and for a lot of vinyl jobs. It's an excellent squeegee with a heavy-duty felt edge that we specifically sell, and it kind of helps you get into the areas where your finger doesn't really fit, and also provide a nice flat surface to press down. Now the adhesion is completed by firm pressure, and then over a few days after the install, the adhesive settles down and becomes very strong. So it's not going to come off by washing the bike or from rain or off-road use or anything, it will come off if you force it off. And by that I mean you'll warm it up with the heat gun and then grab an edge and peel it off. Now, because this is sort of a tight spot, the squeegee is really handy. I'll just slide it in there and press nice and firmly with both the squeegee and my hand. And then here, the spot's a little tight, so I'm just gonna reach around there with the best reach I can. Press down nice and firmly. That's the install for this bottom section. Piece of cake. Now the top section, grab my kit. Sometimes it might be useful if you find to grab it with a sharp edge or the edge of a razor or something to peel it off the backing, but I'm just using my hands in this case. If you had any trouble, just grab it with a sharp edge. It'll come off the backing. There, the vinyl and the backing are cut as one piece on a robot, and so you may find that you might want to grab it with a sharp edge if it seems a little reluctant, but it'll come off very nicely and cleanly. So same thing here. I'm gonna kind of just set it on here. You'll notice the initial tack is not crazy strong. Just gonna grab it and position it. I've got lots of time to get things right, no hurry. And I'm kind of just gonna go ahead and sort of press firmly on the center of the fork, the center of my vinyl, and get my positioning the way I like it. And then I'll grab my squeegee and just start to bring it around the fork. No big hurry. Just bring it around the fork. Now here I've got a little bit of a wrinkle, so not a big deal. Just lift it up and then squeegee down at the same time, and I can work the vinyl down, and any little wrinkles that show up, just work them out. Now there's an omnidirectional air release channel in the vinyl, so it's also very, very easy to work anything, any bubbles or wrinkles. And if you get a stubborn wrinkle, if you manage to get a stubborn wrinkle in it, not a big deal. Just pull it off, grab your heat gun, relax the film, and then it'll lay down nicely. Now I can see I got her down pretty good here. There's a little bit of a wrinkle there, and if I want, I've still got time to kind of pull it up and maybe just give it a little modest tension. To get it down. Now, today's a cool day. It's only about 60, 65, and so I'm going to apply a little bit of heat just to get my film down. It's kind of, in the vinyl business, it's called a post heat. So you're just giving it a bit of heat, and then you'll grab your squeegee and press it down. This helps to get your adhesion complete right while you're doing it. If you don't do this, it's not a big deal. The adhesive is going to settle down in a day or two and become quite strong, but it's good to do this post heat and squeegeeing if you can, to get your adhesion down from the get-go. And then on a warmer day, you probably really wouldn't have to do this if it was, say, 80 degrees or higher. and in Celsius that's, you know, say 30 degrees or higher, then the adhesive on the RuggedWrap is just that much more, a little more pliable and settles down that much faster. So we'll go on to this side and do exactly the same thing. I'll place the vinyl just where I want it. Kind of anchor it in place. Same thing. Grab my squeegee that fits a little nicer into these tight spaces, and I'm gonna kind of secure that middle line nice and firmly, and then I'm gonna work out towards the edges just with my squeegee, flatten it, press it down against the fork nice and firmly. And then I'm going to take and with my hands and the squeegee kind of get into the inside. If you wanted to spend a couple extra minutes and take your fender off, more power to you. Some bikes it's easier said than others, and easier said than done on some. But at any rate, we'll leave that up to you. So this is down very nicely. Just make sure my inside edge is good. All right. Now my last piece. Get it centered and squeegee it down. If you didn't want to use a squeegee, that's okay too. You could use, say, just your hands with gloves on, microfiber gloves or a microfiber cloth. That would work okay too. I get used to using a squeegee, and it provides a nice flat pressure. And it also fits into areas where my fingers don't fit that great. And there again, you can use your heat gun and post heat it and settle down the adhesive just that little bit more if it's a cool day. And that's job done. Let's do a little video just moving around the forks. So this will protect your forks from rock impacts and bush scratches very, very well. It's lightweight, but tough and inexpensive to save these expensive forks on your bike.